Three phases of the election done, and now comes a report that has truly created a flutter. Now, to all appearances, it is a perfectly innocent report coming from the Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister. What does this report say? It basically studies the period between 1950 and 2015. Not just in India, but in the subcontinent and the world, it looks at population trends. But what does the data tell us? Focusing specifically on India, the data finds that the percentage share of Hindus in the population in the country has gone down by more than 7.5%, as opposed to the population share of Muslims in India, which has gone up by as much as 50%, just a little shy of 50% in the last 65 years. Let's take a look more specifically at what these figures are. The share of Hindus in the population went from 84.68% to 78.06%. Conversely, the Muslim population share went from 9.84% to 14.09, almost double. Naturally, the timing of this report is also being questioned across the board. Remember, exactly half the seats of the Lok Sabha have already polled in the three phases that have gone by, and now the crucial four phases remain. Which is why the opposition today asked Asaduddin Owaisi for one. He said, is this a WhatsApp report? Is this an agenda that is being set by the BJP where the familiar majoritarian fears are being fanned? The Muslim population is growing. Hindus are dwindling in number, and there is going to be a complete dramatic demographic change that India is going to be overdosed. Look at the data. Focus on the data and what message it gives us.
ये जिस आंकड़े की आप बात कर रहे हैं वो प्रतिबिंब है कि कांग्रेस के राज में किस प्रकार से हिंदू समाज के ऊपर जिस प्रकार से सामाजिक प्रहार हुए हैं, हमारे समाज को जाति के आधार पर बांटने की कवायद हुई है, ये उसी का एक साक्ष्य है, ये उसी का एक परिणाम है।
The opposition has started reacting to it. We have seen reactions coming in from various opposition parties, and they question the timing of the release of this particular report.
By any words, you cannot diminish the clarity of data, whatever you want. Now we want to know that what is the timing of Karnataka saying that we will give Muslim reservation? मतलब वो भजन करने के लिए दे रहे हैं क्या उस समय, या उनको कोई इल्हाम हो रहा है कि इस समय देना चाहिए?
इन्होंने एक तरह से चारागाह बना दिया इन भारत को, बिहार को, रोहिंग्या, बांग्लादेशी घुसपैठीज को वोट बैंक कांग्रेसियों ने बनाया, और ये भारत के सनातन को खत्म करने की एक साजिश भी है।
But as they say, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Perhaps then politics also lies in the eyes of the beholder, because these trends are not just about India alone. Purely, if we look at the subcontinent, if we ignore other countries, if we ignore America, Africa, purely in Southeast Asia, in the Indian subcontinent, countries like Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Pakistan, where they are Muslim majority countries, the majority population has gone up. And actually, in a complete departure from what is happening in India, the minority population has fallen down drastically. To put it very bluntly, where the Muslims are in majority, the majority population goes up. And where the Muslims are in minority, there also the minority population goes up, and the majority population has seen a shrinkage. This is a disparity that naturally will see political echoes.
ये कहाँ से आया, ये सवाल कहाँ से आया आपके पास? ऑफिस की तरफ से ना, ऑफिस को बोलो प्रियंका जी पूछ रही हैं किसने भेजा उन्हें?
Why this survey, this economic survey, they have given this data now when election is going on? It is purposely. They want to polarize. And definitely BJP and its government is behind this. just to separate nation, just to separate the people of this country.
जो सेंसस होना था 21-22 में, आज 24 हो गया, अभी तक तो हुआ नहीं। ये केवल देश की जनता को भ्रम में डालना और लोगों में नफरत फैलाने की बात ये लोग कर रहे हैं। ये पूरी तरीके से प्रधानमंत्री जी, भाजपा के लोगों का यही एजेंडा है।
रिपोर्ट कौन बनाया है?
इसमें जो लिखा गया है,
नहीं लिखा नहीं गया,
हाँ।
लिखा नहीं गया है। व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी का तो नहीं चलेंगे। रिपोर्ट किसने बनाई, किसकी रिपोर्ट है, बताइए।
All right, so the simple question now arises, what of the timing? Has this been released deliberately, mid-election? Second, is this to stoke fears about Muslim growth in the country? But third is also the question of data. Can the results of hard data be denied? Let me take this across to the guests joining us now. Sujata Pandey, political analyst. Ramzan Chaudhary will be joining us in a bit. Talha Rashadi joins us along with Kamruzaman Chaudhary. But my first question is to Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. Sanju Verma, answer the question on the timing of all the days in the year. Why is it that when 200 plus seats have voted, you decide to release this report? Or rather, the Economic Advisory Council decides to release this report?
You know, Padmaja, first and foremost, let me be very clear. I think the timing could not have been better. I am not going to be apologetic about the timing because in India, there are elections every 3 or 6 months, big or small. Yadi yahi data 2021 mein release kiya jata, you would have said that this is to affect and influence the West Bengal Assembly elections. Had we released this in 2022, you would have said this is to influence the Goa, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Manipur, Punjab Assembly polls. Yadi yahi data 2023 ke end mein release kiya jata, you would have said this is to influence the Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh elections and the Telangana elections. Abhi aap keh rahe hain ki this is to influence, aap matlab the cabal on the other side, ye keh raha hai this is to influence the Lok Sabha 2024 elections. भाई साहब, भारत में कहीं ना कहीं, कभी ना कभी, हर वक्त इलेक्शंस होती हैं. That is the nature of the beast. So do not question the timing. But let's not miss the woods for the trees. I say timing की बात तो एक तरफ रखिए. मुझे ये बताइए, in the last 65 years, from 1950 to 2015, as you rightly said, Padmaja, imagine the Muslim population has seen a rise of 43.15%. 43% rise is not small by any yardstick. And Hindu population concomitantly has actually seen a decline of almost 8%, 7.88% to be precise. Now, I just want to finish by saying this. Please understand that, you know, the devil is always in the detail. And I was going through some data myself before coming on your show. The biggest rise has been in places like West Bengal. 20 years back, the Muslim population, and this is documented, this is not Sanju Verma throwing data off her hat. 20 years back, the Muslim population in West Bengal was 2.12 crore. Today it is 3.23 crore out of a total West Bengal population of 9.5 crore, which means Muslim population in West Bengal is today 33.8%, almost 34% of the total population. और पिछले 20 सालों में Muslim population from 2.1 to 3.2 crore मतलब 52% jump, 52% jump मुसलमानों की जनसंख्या में बंगाल में पिछले 2 दशकों में हुआ है. And are you saying that this is all organic? No, organic, inorganic का mix है. That is why these kind of studies are very important to find out what are the problem areas. Because demographic jihad चल रहा है, इस बात से कोई इनकार नहीं कर सकता. आप वोट जिहाद की बात करते हो, मैं डेमोग्राफी जिहाद.
Okay, that is very strong words. Okay, these are very strong words because now you are politicizing it if you are going to call it demographic jihad. Many would argue, health professionals would argue, the Muslim population was much lesser to begin with. As a percentage population, they were 1/10 of what the Hindu population is. So their fertility rate has gone down. Naturally, over time, their population will grow in terms of percentage. Why are you calling it jihad?
Just 10 seconds. 10 seconds, Padmaja. You raised a very valid point as always. You tell me one thing. Much as we might want to shove things under the carpet, let's address the elephant in the room. 1947 में जब देश का विभाजन हुआ, it was on the grounds of religion. Let's not beat around the bush. And let me tell you, if I have to take your logic on board, in 1947, this is also there in the archives. 1947 population of Karachi of Hindus was 51.3%. Pakistan's latest census data in 2022 says the Hindu population in Karachi is down to how much? 0.86% of the total population. मतलब पाकिस्तान में भी हिंदुओं को अंडरमाइन किया जाए, यहाँ डेमोग्राफिक जिहाद हो, तो भैया हिंदू कहाँ जाएंगे? इसका जवाब दीजिए.
Okay, respond, Kamruzaman Chaudhary.
Padmaja, 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes to Sanjeev Verma. I request just 3 minutes. Plain talk, nothing, absolutely only data for your viewers. You see, 2024 a report comes out. Malicious or not malicious, that may be a point of debate, but the timing is surely to be questioned. But the same Modi Sarkar brought out a report in 2019 stating that brought out by the Health and Family Welfare Statistics Department, which said that the projected fertility will be on the decline in the year 2025 to 2030, and the replacement level, that is the point at which the population of India will stabilize, will be achieved by 2030. Now you tell me, in 1951 census and 2011 census, a net increase in the Muslim population was 136 million, while that of Hindus was 676 million. So if the Muslim population grew by a certain percentage, the Hindu population jumped by 5 times. But I am not complaining about this because this is not a point of comparison or compulsion or changing. When the total fertility rate is more than the replacement rate, this is a cause of alarm. When the same government says that the total fertility rate is coming down for both the Muslims as well as the Hindus, then what is the cause of alarm? This is pure dog whistling by the right-wing cabal in projecting that the Hindus are khatra mein hai. Let me just suggest for your viewers this wonderful book on the same topic written by our ex-election commissioner Mr. Qureshi, The Population Myth, which says even if 1000 years are there in between, the Muslim population of India will never be able to overtake the Hindu population out here. Even in cases where there is a cause of concern that the people say that Muslims marry more, the polygamy cases are more. Even the Modi government data placed in the parliament says the Hindus have practiced more polygamy than the Muslims of India. So just don't generalize the entire issue. If I go into the another debate, which says that the replacement ratio of South Indians has overtaken the TFR or the total fertility rate in South India, but has failed in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar and Bengal. Why? Because the policies have not been implemented properly. When we said Hum Do, Hamare Do, it was a very successful slogan. Hindus, Muslims, together they tried to bring out their this.
Let's stick
even
to
my
the
siblings.
You made a cogent point.
But
Let
now
Sujata Pandey respond to that.
Come down.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, the fertility rate of both Hindus and Muslims has gone down, but there's constant Musliman बढ़ रहे हैं, Hindu खतरे में है. This is dog whistling, says Kamruzaman Chaudhary. Sujata Pandey.
See, Padmaja, first of all, Kamruzaman Chaudhary spoke about what is the concern. The concern number one is, as an Indian, as a Bharatiya, one who believes in the democracy of India, I have a very, very large concern here. Why, you will ask? Because in the data shows that in the 15 Muslim-dominated Lok Sabha constituencies, and this is a historical data, the candidate has always been from one religion. There's been no developmental political talk. There's been no caste census, secularism, temples. No discussion, no freebies, nothing. There's only one discussion, religion. And recent, if you remember, that in Jharkhand, where in the Muslim majority areas, about 100 primary schools stopped giving Sunday holiday and they started giving Friday holidays. This is worrisome for me because the data shows not only just in India, but in Pakistan and in Bangladesh, in Myanmar, that the Muslims have been increasing. And wherever they have increased, the democracy is not in the question. The democracy, loktantra वैसे भी खतरे में आ जाता है. So I think opposition should also be worried along with me, because जब ये population बढ़ती है तो historically लोकतंत्र नहीं सरिया सामने आता है, लोकतंत्र को उठा के एक तरफ फेंक दिया जाता है. We saw it in Afghanistan, we saw it in Pakistan, we are seeing it in conversions, and what is happening to Hindus in Bangladesh. There is enough data to prove this. So that is point number one. The another concern is if this data is, let's say, whatever is saying is true, I have a concern, because if they are saying the Muslim khatre mein hai, because that's been written and talked about so much, the word jihad, the leaders coming out and saying about the word jihad and saying कि बीजेपी को मत वोट दो, but हमारे religion को, हमारे धर्म वाले को वोट दो, और जो बीजेपी को वोट दो उनका हुक्का पानी बंद कर दो. This is what the Salman Khurshid said in Uttar Pradesh recently. So, for that matter, where is this entire increase in numbers coming from? Is it illegal immigration or is it conversion? Because that is also a concern. I have third concern, as a Hindu, as a hard-working Hindu who has earned all his money by my hard work, I have a concern, because if this is the truth, then Rahul Gandhi, जिसकी जितनी हिस्सेदारी उतनी की भागीदारी, then is it a concern for me? Yes, it is a concern for me, because probably this is what Rahul Gandhi meant, कि जिसके जितने बच्चे होंगे उतनी मेरी संपत्ति खींच के उसको दे दी जाएगी. My property will be given to him. So I am worried. This is not dog whistling. This is dissemination of information, and I think the government will be wrong if they didn't have this information.
I want to stop you here for a second and ask both you and Sanju Verma a question, because both of you have said two different things. First, you have said that there is illegal immigration, border states, demography is changing, and then you are saying that the population is also increasing. So, if you are saying the percentage share of Muslims is going up, what are you blaming it on? Are you saying there's illegal immigration, or are you saying there's a population explosion?
Yes.
What are you blaming?
I will answer that. I first want to say that one point. Yes, thank you, Padmaja. One point which Kamru Zaman made, it is right. He is right when he says that there is need to be alarmed only when the total fertility rate, the TFR, is higher than the replacement rate. In the case of India, the total fertility rate currently is 1.9, whereas the replacement rate is 2.1. So the TFR is lower than the replacement rate, and hence we don't need to be alarmed. But 1.9 is very close to 2.1, when the total fertility rate might exceed the replacement rate of 2.1, ye kaha nahi ja sakta. But I want to just say two things. In places like West Bengal, as I said, it's a mix of organic growth. A 52% jump in 20 years in Muslim population cannot be purely organic or inorganic. It is a mix of both the factors. Point number one. Point number two, inorganic growth को यदि हम side में रखें, illegal immigrants की बात ना करें, Rohingyas की बात ना करें, let's just focus on the organic population growth. The Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council has spoken about an average number across the country, across more than 30 states and union territories, of a 43.15% jump in 65 years. When they are making this revelation, this is basically that average organic growth has been on the higher side in high double digits. And the Population Foundation of India, which has done seminal work, has said that the total fertility rate of India has come down from almost 2.8 to 1.9, not because of Muslims, it is because of Hindus. Muslims fertility rate is still 5.93. मतलब आप सोचिए यदि मुसलमानों का fertility rate 5.93 ना होता तो what would have been our total fertility rate? Please extrapolate the numbers. So don't.
No, as a matter of fact, since you have referred to Population Fund of India, the Population Fund of India has actually said that the fertility rate of both have gone down. It has both have gone down. For Hindus, it has gone down. For Muslims, it has gone down. But
quoting from Padmaja.
I'm quoting from their report. I will give you exact data.
Report. The decadal growth rate of Muslims has risen from
I'm quoting from there as well
to 24.6% in 2001-2011. And while there has been a fall from 2011 onwards, in absolute terms, the multi-decade growth in Muslim population has been on the upsurge. तो ये क्लियरली बोला जा रहा है
Okay, Tala wants to come.
Muslim population is on the upsurge in India. I'm quoting what
I don't know where
I will actually quote from the Population Foundation of India. Hold on a second. I have this. Madam, I have the statement right here. Talha, before you counter, I want to quote to you the statement from today. What they have said is the total fertility rate among all religious groups is declining. The highest decrease in TFR from 2005-6 to 2019-21 was observed among Muslims, which dropped by 1 percentage point, followed by Hindus at 0.7 percentage points. This trend underscores that the fertility rates are converging across religious communities. Fertility rates are closely linked to education and income levels, not religion. States with better access to education, healthcare, socio-economic development such as Kerala and Tamil Nadu exhibit lower TFRs across all religious groups. For example, TFR among Muslim women in Kerala is lower than TFR among Hindu women in Bihar. This is their statement from today, Population Foundation of India, just to be very clear on facts. Talha wants to come in. I'll give you the chance to respond. Sanju Verma. Talha.
Padmaja, that's the truth. That's the truth that you have just quoted. I'll give you another example of Lakshadweep, where the Muslim population is around 98%. But if you go and check the TFR rate of Lakshadweep Muslim women, that is far more lower than compared to the Hindu women. And that is the reason only is because the literacy rate in Lakshadweep is around 90 compared to other states like Bihar, where the literacy rate is around 60. The TFR is on a higher end in Bihar. That is just because of illiteracy, because of poverty, because of unemployment. But this government, which started its propaganda on Vikas and Ambas, which has now come to Pakistan and Musalman, won't do that. They won't work on education sector. They won't work on employment. They won't work on other development things. But what the irony is that the Economic Advisory Panel to the PMO, which is supposed to give advice on economy and economic related issues, is advising the PMO on population related issues. Whereas there's the data from National Family Health Survey, which is the official agency which gives the official data of TFR, of replacement rate and other such. That report, the RFHS 5 report that came in May 2022, that was released by the Ministry of Health, which is the official source of the data, whereas the learned BJP spokesperson has quoted many data.
Tala, you are right, and I have quoted that statistic also. But I
have been silent.
But there is part two. But there is part.
Padmaja, let me complete. Then you can counter and debate. Now, what I'm trying to say is that this is only a WhatsApp data which is being spread across just to polarize the situation and just to demonize the Muslim community further, to gain some vote bank, because the reality of the ground is everyone has come to know about the reality of what is going on on the ground. Now, the other thing is that when I'm quoting the data, if you see, you just said that
with the greatest of respect, sir, I am completely with you on the statistical part, but we must not forget, this study is not just about India. This study is across the board, across the world, and it also has data about, sir, hold on a second. At the very least, a couple of takeaways, which, if you agree with this data that, all right, the Muslim population is growing, you agree with TFR and all of that, it also says, if you are saying that, it is but natural that the minority population will also grow, the majority population will also grow, it does not hold true for countries like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh. In our country, minorities have grown. Majority has remained stable or declined slightly. In Pakistan, on the other hand, the minorities have gone down drastically. Bangladesh minorities have gone down drastically. Afghanistan minorities have gone down drastically. And that is the trend which is worrying. You cannot ignore that either, right, Talha Rashadi?
This should be discussed on the international platform. This should be discussed with the foreign ministries at the SAARC meetings, not in internal. Now, one more thing. Padmaja, they are saying Hindus khatre mein hai. The total population of the country is approximately 140 crores. The population of Hindus is approximately 120 crores. The population of Muslims is approximately 20 crores. Now, these panelists sitting here are saying that Hindus khatre mein, 20 crore लोगों से 120 करोड़ लोगों को खतरा है. ये आप बताइए लॉजिकल है? They are playing with the data. They are saying Muslims की population 43% increase हो गई. But they won't say
Talha Rashadi, you are looking at a national data. If I was to quote to you, do you know there are districts in our country, There are districts in our country, and this matter is in the Supreme Court now. There are districts in our country where Hindus are now in a minority. So आप जब कह रहे हैं कि 140 करोड़ लोग हैं, मैं ये नहीं आर्ग्यू कर रहे कि कोई खतरे में है, बट आप माइनॉरिटी में हैं. हाँ, डेफिनेटली हिंदू माइनॉरिटी में है, कई डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में है.
10 साल से बीजेपी हुकूमत में है. दूसरे देश के लोग घुसपैठिए कैसे देश में चले आए? इन्होंने क्या कार्रवाई की? बीच में चिल्लाते रहेंगे हिंदू खतरे में. इन्होंने क्यों इन्फिल्ट्रेशंस को इंडिया में आने दिया? आप बताइए. सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट बॉर्डर के
संजू वर्मा
है 10 साल में.
संजू वर्मा
घुसपैठिए बढ़ रही है 10 साल.
No, I refuse to come in because he's going on and on. After he's done, I will speak. आपकी बात खत्म हो गई हो तो मैं बोलना चालू करूं.
Okay, you had your turn.
You know,
Sanju Verma.
Padmaja, let me be very clear. You quoted some data comparing Kerala and Bihar, and the Population Foundation of India report also says this. Your audience needs to hear this. Within UP, district fertility was 4.4% in Muslim-dominated areas, 1.6 in Hindu areas, and in those districts where the fertility was higher, this was related with low female schooling, and in the high fertility districts with a Muslim majority concentration, the use of sterilization declined from 41% to 16.7%, clearly saying that the lack of using population control methods and the lack of female schooling is the reason for rise in fertility in many districts in Uttar Pradesh. But I will just say this, we can talk about Kerala, we can talk about UP, Bihar. Net baat ye hai. Let us not lose sight of the bigger picture, Padmaja. Today, out of 140 crore people, 20 to 22 crore are Muslims, which means lagbhag 14.5% of the population is Muslims. They are not a minority. They are the single largest majority in India. We have only 85 lakh Buddhists. We have only 45 lakh Jains. We have only 57,000 Parsis. We have only 2.5 crore Christians. We have only 2.26 crore Sikhs. So basically, मेरा ये कहना है that why are Muslims still getting benefits of Article 29 and Article 30? क्योंकि आप तो माइनॉरिटी हो ही नहीं, आप इस देश की सेकंड लार्जेस्ट मेजॉरिटी हो.
Okay,
the biggest point.
मंदिर में सरकार का पैसा इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं.
We're talking on data. Please, no heckling each other. Let me quote to you actually two places, Kamruzaman Chaudhary. अभी this argument is given again and again. ये तो dog whistling है, Hindu majority है. Lakshadweep is 96.8%. 96.8% Muslims. Jammu and Kashmir, everyone knows, is 68.3% Muslims. And then you have got the demographic change. In Assam, one we are talking about organic growth, one we are talking about inorganic growth. So the first is organic growth, Lakshadweep, Jammu and Kashmir. Inorganic growth, West Bengal, the Muslim population in 1971 was 20.4%. In 2011, at the last census, it was 27.01%, growth of 7%. Again, then in Assam, Muslim population in 1971 was 24.5%, and in 2011, it was 34.2%, a growth of 7%. Kamruzaman Chaudhary.
Well, Padmaja, you know, this entire analysis has to be done on two contexts. First, I think on the debate of the TFR and the replacement rate. Even if the retainers of the Bharatiya Janata Party will try to play with the WhatsApp data on national television, but I am sitting in front of the data wherein the total replacement or the fertility rate of Bengal Muslims has reduced drastically.
Sir, I quoted to you census data of how Muslim population in West Bengal and Assam has grown. You live in West Bengal. This is census data. So it's very unfair. We are giving data and you just dismiss it all by saying BJP's WhatsApp data. This is census data. Sir, let's have a serious debate.
No, I am not dismissing your data. I am not dismissing your data, Padmaja. I am just reading out the National Family Health Survey carried out in 2005, the number 3, NFHS number 3, wherein it was stated in West Bengal, the total fertility of Muslims was 3.14, whereas in NFHS 4, it reduced to 2.08, a big decline of around 1.06. You know, 1.06, even Bihar, UP, which are having a fertility rate of more than 4.
We have done that debate. Now we've come to the second part, sir. We have come to the
Now
second
come to the
part
basic
where I'm
point.
questioning you about the inorganic growth of 7%. Yes, go on. Address the question I asked.
Listen, 1971 was a very important year in the northeastern region, including Bengal, wherein the Pakistan was divided into two by the Congress government. What happened that time, there was a large-scale migration across the border to escape the atrocities of the Pakistani army in Bangladesh. That might have added up to the population growth of Assam. I'm not denying it. But do you remember during the time of partition of 1947,
that is jugglery.
the 5 divisions of
Muslim
Bengal?
population in West Bengal in 1971 was 20.4%. 10 years later, it was only 21.5%. So if you are blaming the liberation of Bangladesh for the Muslim influx, in 10 years following that, there was only 1% increase. The actual increase actually happened after 1991, where the population went from 23.6% to 27.01%. But anyway, I think this data, we can keep arguing about it ad nauseum. But Sujata Pandey, again, want to bring you in. Again, people will say, and it may be dismissed by many as conspiracy theory, but at a time when we're talking about, the political campaign is about Muslim quota, about how, the rights of Hindus will be given to Muslims, suddenly this report comes. What do you make of that?
So I will reiterate what Sanju Verma said, is that in this country, every 3-4 months we have an election. Some part of India is definitely will be going through election every 3-4 months. So that doesn't mean that the citizens would be deprived of the data such important, which concerns their life, their political ideology, their economic status, their the social need gets affected. I think that is a vague statement and bizarre comparison to make, that just because of there's an election going on, so this data is out. But the bigger question is, Padmaja, is that if this is the picture, if this is the population is increasing, whether it's Hindus or Muslims or what the decline, etc., shouldn't we be talking about UCC now? Shouldn't we be talking about the population control bill? Shouldn't we be talking about the NRC? Shouldn't we stop, looking it only through political lens and see that how it is going to impact each one of us? Because if Qamar Jamal Chaudhary is saying that, okay, the states where the education is not great and sanitation is not great, the Muslim population is increasing, well, he should ask the question that when Yogi government decided that certain madrasas would be closed, his party, went up against all odds and said that no, this is against their rights and their personal law should be protected, etc., etc. I think if this is population explosion is a real concern,
so actually you've made the most important point, which is that dismissing it all as political dog whistling is easy. But does this report give us very, very important talking points which affect all of us? Legal, social, political, and that's what I'm going to discuss next with J. Sai Deepak, not just about that, but also about the comments that Sam Pitroda made. Actually, there were protests which were held across the country on that. There were leaders who spoke about how this is racial discrimination. But this report in particular, what it bodes for us in terms of all the laws that we discussed, also CAA.